guess what? I'm gonna get mine. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't tell me how you're all down. When you're smiling in my face, but you play me like a clown. It's your fool, bitch. So just step back. I'm mad dad when I come down straight. I thought you were my piece, but you play me out. Now I'm mad as hell, and I'm full of doubt. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. I'm back on the scene, it's time to get mean. I'm a lean, revolution machine. Won't want people stay, they sway. 1, 2 day is good as any day. You'll feel slightly this, let's resist. Raise your fist and pump like this. Promises all the time. Don't cross the line, but you know it's right. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll.
Trouble by, get something in your rear. Trouble by, get something in your rear. Trouble by, get something in your rear. Trouble by, get something in your rear.
Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? Who you wanna roll with? Lefty, let's roll. Who you wanna roll with? 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 Who you wanna roll with?
Bucketman. Bucketman. Why can't I hear you, Bucketman? Hold on.
Now I'm unmuted.
I
don't know what muted me, but I got muted. So there, now I'm unmuted. How we doing?
Oh. Where's my samples? My samples aren't ready. How am I doing? That's how I'm doing. Welcome to Tuesday night. I hope we got all the bugs out. We got through opening day here at Mad Hatter. It was amazing.
I'll be there Saturday.
It was really cool. It was great to see this place open and vibrant with people running around, slinging weed all over the place. It was weed flying all over the place in here. It was great. I enjoy being at a dispensary.
I do too. It's a cool environment, it's a cool working environment, and the people who come in are fun to talk to.
People are very happy here. Now, hold on. I'm going to try to stream this to the dispensary. Let's see if I can do that on YouTube. Hold on.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. This is going to take me a minute. Hold on.
I hope you don't screw it up.
I'm going to screw it up. This is why I need a
Don't say you're going to do that.
Boy. Hold on. You're going to hear an echo. Hold on. You can hear an echo. You're going to hear me. Let's see if it works.
Hello.
So, yeah, we're on the TV out there now.
We're on the TV.
We're live in the dispensary for the first time. So cool. All right. They can watch us out there. Watch. As soon as we say something dumb, they're going to turn it off. Like, what is this crap we're listening to?
Well, I will not say any flipping nonsense, all right? I'm going to be a nice...
This is not that kind of show, bro. No.
Well, what do we do then?
We have a great guest today, Jason David from Jaden's Journey, and his son is the first child to get CBD on television for the first time, and he pretty much started the CBD movement in the United States. So, oh wait, it's playing the wrong one. It's playing Jim Miller. Hold on, it's playing the wrong thing.
God damn it!
What's going on here?
What are you doing?
I messed up.
You did it bad.
How'd that happen? Wait a minute. How'd that happen? It should be playing this. Oh, I really screwed the pooch here. I'm playing. Oh, hold on. All right, you got to take over the show. I'm going to run. Oh, there we go. Now
well, don't do that. I was getting ready to take over.
Please take over so I can do this. Hold on. Yeah.
So,
ready, go.
Okay, so Lefty's going to be taking care of that when I'll take a break for what I'm doing there. I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to Sativa Cross podcast on today, a Tuesday. I believe this is the 18th we're on here today. And boy, I mean, another week pack. We got the Lefty was talking about a gentleman from California, his son being the first to consume CBD live on TV. Thought that was awesome. Sean Marina, how are we doing? How are we doing?
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well. Other than that,
Marina was here, and she was one of our first customers.
I saw you guys were live the other day too. I chatted in something. I believe it was about Fat Joe's father's death. Yes, but other than that, you know, we're watching the current events unfold as they do, wild as they are, but it seems that on some level, people are holding up, still fighting. A lot of people are speaking up. A lot more are taking out to rallies and such. This is not Seth. How you doing? How you doing? I've seen a lot more pictures, videos, reports of rallies about, you know, from people from New Jersey, Tennessee, all over the place, whether it be about Musk or Trump or whatever. So that's comforting to see. I love that. Yeah. So, you know, we're going to be talking with our friend from California today. Lefty's still getting stuff sorted. Jim should be here shortly. Please check out my Instagram, Bucketman_TV, and my YouTube, Bucketman TV. I just uploaded a video about pork roll. It's a short one. It's a question. I'll say it here. Why is it that it's restricted only to the tri-state for pork roll? It's not, you know, a secret. It's pork, and pigs are everywhere. So why you go other places and they're just like, no, we don't have that. Why would we have pork roll? They look at you like you're crazy, but they'll at the same beak serve you bacon. Like, that's madness. But have you regained control?
I want to do a story about the capybara.
What?
Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Oh my goodness.
What's
the capybara.
happening?
Did you see that? The Peruvian police used a capybara to lure people into a drug busts.
Oh, I need to see how that happened. That's wild.
Hold on. Let me show you. Present. This is hold on. Okay, here we go. The Peruvian police.
That is what police did. Take a look at this. A police officer in this costume here captured a suspect drug dealer yesterday, a suspected drug dealer. Body cam footage shows the costumed officer holding a Valentine's Day gift. The disguised officer then charges into the home when the door is open and pins down the suspect. The same police unit used a similar strategy last year, wearing a teddy bear costume to lure in a suspect. Wow.
That is quite the strategy there.
Ooh, look at that.
My goodness.
Not ooh, but you know. Yeah, I mean, they got wow.
Found some interesting evidence.
And in that same costume brought him into the police.
Watch breaking news.
So
Amazing, right?
What were they doing? Were they doing a run? And they're just like, well, I love me some furries. I'm gonna go see if I can get me some fur play. Like, what was that? What was that? What are these Peruvian drug dealers running around? They're just like,
we need a
Must
capybara
follow
for the
it.
party.
or wait, how did it end up in their house? This must mean okay. So from that, what I took there and from what I saw, they got into their house. So that must mean during whatever their travels or dealings or whatever, they're just like, oh, I purchased a capybara costume. It's customary. Why don't you come into my home? Come into my home, person in a capybara costume. I don't need to see your face. Don't worry about it. Just come into my home. Oh, a bust. Whoa. I'm done freaking out. I'm not, but from that moment I am.
2
That's
kilos and a
wild.
capybara, please. I'm putting the 2 kilos inside the capybara. You can keep the capybara.
There's so
I'm
many.
rat holing the capybara.
That's disgusting. That's bestiality. I won't tolerate that with anything I'm involved with.
The capybara is a mule. It's a mule.
No, obviously not. No, it's like I feel I want to believe that's what it was. Where it's just like it's like they know they have an affinity for furries, so they're just like, yeah, just go put this on, just go dance around outside, and they can't resist. And it was actually they got them for soliciting prostitution as well because the capybara was out there. It was just like,
yeah.
Hey, you looking at me?
Let's multitask.
Yeah. Come on, let's go. Oh, it's a bust. Not only was it a bust you should have known because you were soliciting prostitution, but it was also like, hey, the guy's wearing a capybara costume. Like, I kind of feel like they should have just been like, all right, good game. We're good. I put my hands that's where you lay flat. You lay flat. You put your hands on the ground or behind your back, or whatever, and you're just like, good game, good game, good game. You got me. You caught my fetish. I love the fur costume.
From what I understand, Bongholio is going to be here for the huge grand opening, and a capybara will be here as well, I believe. Slightly used capybara.
I'm gonna come dressed like it's gonna be cold that day. I'm gonna come dressed like Deep Throat. I'm just gonna stand outside. Hopefully a certain someone will be annoyed by that, and that'll make me very happy. I'm just gonna stand outside by people and be like, hey, you need a Deep Throat.
The parking lot is so clean and serene and peaceful.
Excuse me, get your head out of the gutter. I am not asking for sexual favors. I am clearly, by that statement, asking if people need deep information.
I'm so happy. You have no idea.
Thank you. That's terrible. Don't ever do that again.
I can smoke in peace now. It's such a good feeling.
I hope, you know what? I hope a couple of those people watch the show, and you'll just like, they'll be like, all right, we're going to catch him really off guard. We're going to wait a couple months. And then he's going to be outside, like, it's going to be dark outside smoking. And he's going to turn his head, we're just going to be like, and then he's going to turn his head the other way. We'll be like, and then we're just going to have every area of his car backed up. So unless he wants to kill one of us, he's trapped.
Oh, I've seen it all out there.
You know what? I don't think you've seen enough. Because you still, in a way, kind of flirt with the concept of it in a little bit. You're like, with them, it was always like,
it's gold. It's podcast gold.
It is podcast gold. That's why you were always like, oh, no, don't masturbate near me. Oh no. Look, there's Jim. There's Jim. Your timing is perfect.
Is that the ex-governor? Oh, no, not the ex-governor. No,
do it on the ex-governor. It's feverishly.
Oh, no, not again. More podcast gold. No, we don't want that.
Is it sexual assault if they just get the aftermath on them? I don't think so.
Jim, you missed a great CRC meeting today. Wish you were there. How I wish you were there.
Lady in red.
We lost 1,000 patients this year. 1,000 patients less this year. So out of the 2 million people that would qualify for cannabis in New Jersey, medical cannabis, only 60,000 patients in New Jersey. And they're trying to figure out ways to get patients more. To improve
like they lost, like as far as like they just stopped holding their card.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
versus death. But I was gonna say, like, it would also be quite funny if they were just like, yeah, we just don't know where they are. They got stoned one day and just wandered off. We don't know. They're lost. They're lost. We need to find them.
Yeah, so the patient count went down a lot.
It sounds like a Mitch Hedberg joke, by the way.
I'm so happy that you said that. I love that. And you know what?
Do you know what I'm referring to then?
Yes, Mitch Hedberg.
Yeah, but I mean, when he said, when you're waiting for your table at a restaurant, they calling off names.
Yes.
And they get to somebody and Milligan, party of 3, Milligan, party of 3. And then they call back again, Milligan, party of 3. And then they move on. But what happened to the Milligans? Well, they could be locked up in somebody's trunk and hungry. We have
to go find them.
And that'd be a trifecta. It should be like next party, search party of 3. Whatever.
I just thought of one that was actually perfect for you, and I feel like, Jim, we need to get you on a banner that just says, "I'm sick of following my dreams. I'm just gonna keep going and meet up with them later."
Yeah, somewhat. I find his humor to be pretty.
He was incredible.
Well, we're a lot alike. I mean, it's sort of like the one he said I really like was, "But I'm on the road a lot, and I stay in motel rooms, and I got to use my time to think up new material and stuff, So I have pen and paper whenever I think of something, I write it down so I don't forget it. But sometimes when I think of it, I'm sitting down and pen and paper on the other side of the room, and I convince myself it wasn't that good an idea."
Yeah.
But I think, actually, we all kind of do that,
Well, it's procrastination. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you rationalize why you might not want to. I do. I mean, I know I do. I'm catching myself a lot lately.
Someone very similar who I feel it goes on the more kind of outlandish side and less relatable. Stephen Wright.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very similar style. Love him.
They had look. I don't interrupt, but it's right at it, and you'll like it. Look up YouTube Stephen Wright versus Mitch Hedberg. They go back with jokes that are kind of similar.
Okay.
And it's really funny because you start to see the similarity. Stephen Wright nails it that. Mitch Hedberg winds a little thing around. Like, I bought a house with 2 bedrooms, but isn't it up to the homeowner how many bedrooms the house has?
Yes.
My house has a bedroom with a couch and people watching TV in it.
Yes. My bedroom has a kitchen
my house has a bedroom, yeah.
So,
AKA a hallway.
You're familiar with Stephen Wright. Yeah. You know his material. You wouldn't think that there would be a time where he would have someone pull him inside and say, "Hey, this isn't the climate for this joke." That's not his type of humor.
No, none of it.
So I went to a show of his 2 years ago. It was actually a show I got. He wrote, Jim, I definitely recommend you read this book. It's called Harold. It's written by Stephen Wright. It's incredible.
Good. It is. He sees things.
But there's a bit he does where he talks about having a pet bird who's making prank phone calls. So he goes across to the apartment across the street with a sniper rifle to shoot it. And it was right around 2 years ago where there was all of those a real peak in mass shootings.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I could see
he did replace the joke though.
I can see that.
Yeah. But you think about it though, with how just how outlandish that stuff is. It's not like something like, "Oh, I'm going to go out in the street and shoot a guy." That you'd say, yes, replace that. No, but he's just talking about shooting a bird.
Yeah, I like the way and when he's doing his stuff, he doesn't spend much time actually talking about too much because he just segues. But I found out, I saw him, might have been in the State Theater, wouldn't count Basie, but it was something like that. And I thought, okay, it's Stephen Wright. I don't need good seats. I'll be able to see him, but I'll be able to hear him. No, if you get really far away seats, which is fun because you can stand up and nobody's going to be pissed off. But yeah, I couldn't. That's what it sounded like, and I honestly couldn't hear all of his, hardly any. It was extremely eye-opening, you know. But but he just says like, we drive on parkways and park on driveways, and boats deliver shipments. No, I mean boats deliver cargo, and cars deliver shipments.
Yes.
That guy, yeah, just put it together.
You probably remember this one. He does this one every time he comes to New Jersey, where he says, you know, I always come to Jersey when I'm around these areas. I go to the beach, and I always get so upset when I see a baby laying on a towel because I'm wondering, why is that baby relaxing? It hasn't done anything yet. So I go up and I just kick it.
Okay.
And I laughed so hard at that. And that was, I believe, the last show I went to. He pointed out and he said, wow, someone out there really, really likes the baby joke. I always get a kick out of when I get picked out of the audience, whether it's like literally on the spot or just I'm the only one laughing that loud.
I like how he emphasizes different syllables now and then. Like he says, I was walking by a dry cleaner, not a dry cleaner, a dry cleaner.
Mitch Hedberg or Stephen Wright?
Mitch Hedberg. And it says, sorry, at 3 a.m. And it says, sorry, we're closed. I thought, why should you be sorry you're closed? You're a dry cleaner. It's 3 a.m. It's not like somebody's going to come up in the morning and say, I really needed something dry cleaned, you know? And then he goes, not right after that joke, but also he goes, and this jacket I have on is dry clean only, which means it's dirty.
Dirty, yes. The one I use all the time.
That's Stephen Wright, like, though. That was, you know. See,
the one I use all the time with probably of his is when I'm talking about cars, and I say, you know, like I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh, you know, you're pretty good, you know, about cars. For me, you know, if I have a car and it breaks down, I go for my toolbox, aka my wallet.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mitch Hedberg actually did some social consciousness comments without sounding like him, and
he had one of those tenors.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, people have a way of doing that too, and the kind of comedy I really liked. You know, it was like Doug Stanhope. See, he's a lot more not care about. He is way out there.
I love him.
Yeah, but he said he'd look out and he goes, "Okay, any Christians in the crowd? Yeah, hardcore or regular, you know." And then he goes on to engage, but then he would say, like, you know, a guy would say, like, you know, I know I'm supposed to love my neighbor and turn the other cheek, but this guy had a noise on so loud his apartment next to mine that it keep me awake, and it was the Beastie Boys, and the Beastie Boys weren't around when the Bible was written, so I think that one's open to interpretation.
I like the one he does. What was it where he says, you know, and I think I know the problem, the thing we need to talk about, the problem with this country, we all know, Officer Bob, the people we really need to get out of here. Babies. They don't speak the language. They don't want to work a job. They just take and take and take and take.
Yeah. No. You can
He's great. And I liked his era where he started wearing that suit, that really weird corduroy or tweed suit he'd wear when he went live. You ever see that?
Who are you talking
Doug
about?
Stanhope.
Oh yeah.
That was.
I've seen him, but I also we engaged on his website before because he went out about this whole thing. He's libertarian, and he got this whole thing. That Nazi Bob Barr, the Liberty's nominee, you know, to run for president. And he was all down on him because of that. So I told him about my engagement as a Libertarian Party candidate myself, you know. And so when we got to see him, because the one time, actually it might have been the same thing, when he was out by the merchandise or the merch table afterwards, you know, he knew who I was when I mentioned it. But before that, he was sitting at the bar that you'd go by, the area, having a beer, and nobody noticed it was him. I mean, I walked by, that's Doug Stanhope sitting there. You know,
he blends in very well. He does. He looks. He's very much that that look of a ex-husband who's caught in the early change or late change of chain smoking.
Oh, at least, yeah, Lefty. I don't know how well you know Doug Stanhope, but look up on YouTube Doug Stanhope, Sarah Palin. You'll have a good time. It's like you can see he's like really out there, and there's a lot of people that would find him extremely offensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's making points in an offensive way, but I suppose you could have issue with the way the messenger delivers the message, not the message itself, though.
Yeah, and I think at least he's touching on relevant points. And I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you want to hear about those points in comedy form, then I don't think, whether it be in a sexual nature or just general dirty nature or violent or whatever, you should expect a clean show.
Yeah. Well, anybody that goes to a comedy show, though, got to study up on who the comedian is, because some are going to be that way. And some are going to involve you in audience stuff. In Tom's River is a guy named Paul Veneer. Everybody called him Dick Face because he had a huge phallic symbol costume that was like really, really funny.
Wow.
And he also had like 2 extra heads in a costume. Not 2 heads in me. Things like that. He could play piano like Billy Joel, make up songs like you wouldn't believe. He was Jonathan Winters and Robin Williams rolled into one. And I've seen him 4 or 5 times. I took Kathy at least once, maybe a couple times. And that show, I felt he introduced himself well. To those of you who don't know me, and he had like a spotlight flashlight. It says, "You can't hide anywhere today. I'll see you in the back," And it does. He just picks one at a time,
I went to go see at, what was it? I'm looking up because the poster's up there, at the Wellmount about 2 years ago. Jim Norton. Do you know who he is?
No.
It's short.
I might, not by name though. I mean,
he's a short, bald comedian, about as kind of dirty, pretty dirty, like Doug Stanhope is.
Opie and Anthony. He's from the Opie and Anthony show.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, then I know him.
Okay.
I know him from the show. Yeah.
So he did a meet and greet after the show, and I have a picture with him. I have a couple pictures with him, and my one solace of those pictures is that we both took an equally bad picture, which I love. But I asked him because I remember I saw him in, other than his comedy shows, I saw him in Special Correspondent. I don't know if you know that movie where he and Ricky Gervais mock up a coup they're supposed to be covering on the news because they lost the plane tickets and the money. So they do it with audio engineering and stuff. But the point is, I asked him how it was working with Ricky Gervais and with past stories of how he's worked with people, and the fact that he has a bald head. If he tried to, because he has a history with like his old producer, he would squeeze his head often. So I asked him, like, did Ricky Gervais often try to squeeze your head? And he looked at me and he just went, no. And I wouldn't let him. He asked. Which shocked me, but I thought, I don't know, always getting little answers like that is fun for me.
Which comedian started off his thing like 2001 Space Odyssey, music, like about the birth or something, but he pulled his like shirt over his head and started coming out like that, his bald head first. It looked like something was being burst out of his headless shirt, But, whatever. I like breaking down comedians and why they're funny, and other people do too. I look on YouTube, I see what somebody else has to say, but the one I still, there's so many facets to him. Bill Burr, he's well-rounded and funny, but none of it's really particularly random except little offshoots that he adds,
I love Bill Burr. I think he's an excellent voice actor. I think he touches on a lot of relevant points, and
that are definitely not touched on. What do you call he's not politically correct,
No,
but when you could do something like the gold digging horse, and when people object when they hear it, it goes, the world's full of them. People, they're everywhere. Every news, you keep expecting to find out about it on the news every night, and I haven't heard it mentioned though. So but then he goes on and make certain. Oh God, that's so funny that I watch reaction videos of it where other people are watching it for the first time because I know when the funny shit's coming. I can watch their faces and I get to laugh a second time at them laughing at Bill Burr. You know.
Yes.
I only watched him the first time because I thought his name was a nice.
I implore you,
alliteration. You know, Bill
I implore you, Jim. Go on. If you have Netflix, look up F is for Family. He voice acts the father in that. It's a show. It's a cartoon that basically it takes place in the 70s about the father grew up in like the 50s, going to the Air Force and stuff like that. And all those sprinkled in bits like that, where he'll throw the kids a bit of change and say, here's 50 cents. Go get your family some McDonald's. Like. Awesome, love that. But yeah, he's voice acts in that. It's a very good show. I think you'd like it a lot. So
it's a show with voices and cartoons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I could do that. I generally am not attracted to that.
It's all based in there's no fantasy about it. It's just the cartoon aspect is the fantasy.
No. Well, I can see there are some that use that to perfection. So.
Lefty, if we're talking about comedians, Lefty, have you heard of Colin Schumacher?
No.
I'm gonna send you him right now.
Does he make stoner movies? I want to know what your favorite stoner movie is.
That's a good question.
Jim, go first. I have to decide.
Weirdly enough, I liked Half Baked to Roll On. A lot of people didn't like that so much. I thought it was pretty funny.
Half Baked was good. I think that. Yeah, Dave Chappelle is that movie's. It's definitely on that rack of like it's in the 7-Eleven like value bin, and I feel like that genre of movie definitely gets like dismissed very easily. But I think because it was one of the earlier movies of cannabis slowly being accepted, amongst the fact that also Dave Chappelle was the lead actor in that, definitely memorable. Jim, you're muted.
Some of the early ones, stoner movies that I liked were a lot like, of course, Up in Smoke. And, I saw that originally out in a movie theater for the first time. So the fun was going because the crowd was going to be great, But the joke was on me because this was my first wife, Debbie, and we weren't married yet. So it's going back pretty far.
Right.
And we sat in the car and got as high as you could possibly get right before, and then went straight to the theater, which was in the same building as a rather large bar and grill. A nice one, not where people like me would hang out.
Right.
So we went over there, and I wish I had video of the look on my face when she said, "I'm sorry, it's sold out." I had to look like I stepped out of that movie trying to figure out, what? Okay, that wasn't the bad part. Bad part was walking back. Her parents' best friends, the ones they always go out with, the ones that are always over, and they're drinking and telling real adult jokes and stuff. And
right.
Her dad didn't like me, called me a hippie. And he was mad that I kept his daughter out all night at a festival that she wasn't supposed to stay out all night at, even though I had pictures at the Poconos where you couldn't get out because cars, it was a crush. There was no way out.
Right.
But anyway, the friends, I'm also, hey, and like I'm really high. And this was like in the first couple years of me getting high. So, factor that in. And then, okay, I just want to get back to the car and hang out. I didn't even want to drive. I thought, no, I don't have to drive. Let's just, and before that, I got spun around. Hey, come on, your parent. And he says, your parents are over here. And it was their friends grabbing us, bringing us to where her parents were inside a bar. Oh my God. So the first thing I had to do was say hi. And I said something like, anybody drink chops? And they were, and I had like 3 quick ones. So I had a cover for being really fucking stupid at the time, Oh man. Oh,
I think
the movie was good though,
Yeah.
the next day.
I think my two I'd have to break down would be if I had to say my movie for stoners, which was my first stoner movie I ever saw, was the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie.
I never saw that.
Oh, incredible! Honestly, if you're just looking for a stupid movie to get high and watch,
stupid movies find me, but that's
it's
cool.
amazing. But I watched it before I started smoking, so that was just another level for me watching it again. But the stoner movie, How High, probably my favorite stoner movie of all time. Love that one. You got weed, you got blunt, and that's how two friends.
I want to know, but we're missing the real point here. Lefty, what about you? What's your favorite stoner movie?
Platoon.
Oh, wow! What an odd choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, well, it was.
You know the scene?
No, that's where they.
You know the scene?
Well, the shotgun scene.
The worm is turned for you, son.
Oh no, yeah, but what sometimes I get Apocalypse Now and Platoon and things interposed. That was the one with Tom Berenger, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was the one with the shotgun then. And, that's why they call it a shotgun. Yeah, that was
great ones that you could list.
That was really good too, and it was right at that time. I mean, my God, that wasn't that far to Vietnam War. It'd been done about 3 years tops.
Yeah, any movie with pot smoking. I mean, you can just one scene will make it a stoner movie. Just have one scene of pot smoking.
Easy Rider. Easy Rider. Then.
Oh, Walk Hard. You ever see that one?
Walk Hard.
It's a guy from Step Brothers, and he plays the Johnny Cash parody character.
Well, if it's them Step Brothers,
yes.
Wasn't that? It was Will.
Yeah, Jim. It's a parody of Johnny Cash's upbringing and story.
Oh,
hilarious!
What's that you're smoking there? We're smoking reefers. You're smoking reefers. You can't smell it? No, Sally, I can't. Oh, there's
Can it hurt you? Nope. Can it kill you? Nope.
Yeah. When you get inside, please play that scene. I can't believe we haven't played that before.
You know what would be interesting?
We're doing pills, Dewey. Uppers and downers.
Did it's just a random thought here, but since it's the right subject, you always hear. Well, I always hear because I say it a lot that if you walked into a room and there was like tables scattered about, maybe 10, and 5 had people only smoking pot and 5 had people only drinking, you would know the difference real quick and which one would you fit in at and all. But then why hasn't that ever happened? To spend several hours with different groups doing one and doing the other, you wouldn't even be interacting at first. But
real quick. So the mobile home, this is not Seth said. So the mobile home park made me take my support home grow signs down because it's in the rules not to have a sign out front of my place. I'd say find evidence of other people doing that without a fence and then tackle them with that.
No, but you can stand outside where it's public and hold the sign up saying they won't let me put this sign right here.
I think it's more the point that he's saying it's my home.
Yeah, but it's a non-winnable fight. Although
you can win. You can win. Stand outside the office with that sign. Stand outside the front office.
Yeah, but on their property, they can control what goes on. You got to be like on the easement, the closest one, or best yet, the entrance, the one people ride in and out to see if they want to live there, or the one that informs everybody else going in and out, and they start having opinions. That would be my advice.
Or the sky, get some balloons.
Yeah, that costs money.
They have no mandate over the sky. It's the same thing with restraining orders. They only go left and right. They do not go up and down.
Yeah. I don't know. Governor Christie put it best, although I didn't like what he was talking about, is when there was 5,000 people out there protesting and had pig pig balloons flying, you know, a union thing or something, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. He just says, I don't care. Come again. You know, they always go away. I just sit there, have lunch, have a piece of pizza maybe, and they'll be gone. You know, but when he did that, for only a second, it was insulting. After that, it was motivating. It was like, well, okay, then we must pick something else for you. Yeah, and he never said that about our podcast.
I mean,
yeah.
So we have to kick it up a notch. All right. So if us just being here isn't enough, all right, fine. We're gonna come back and we're gonna smell. We're gonna smell terrible, and it's gonna be intolerable, and you're gonna have to deal with us standing there reeking.
I'll close the window.
I want to believe it would permeate, unless you have like really good insulation, you know.
Well, that's my style.
They came back 3 days later, reeking of the terrible.
That was my not too often anymore, but yeah, would occasionally back in the day it was fun to go. You know, back in the day, 10 years ago or whatever. It ended up getting a free room at a casino, and going and have some drinks and smoke a whole lot, and you know, it'd do it with towel under the door if it was really debatable, you know, but it was like pretty open. It wasn't that much, but I would exhale down my shirt.
Well, like smoke in the casino?
You know, in the room.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like on the floor.
No, on the 5th floor. And then
Okay.
I have to go down to the casino floor. So I'd walk into an elevator and I pop in and go, hey, somebody's smoking pot here.
You ratted on someone.
No. Yes, I do that, and then I give that old, oh, never mind. You know, and I kind of clam up like that. It was fun.
There was the one fun stoner memory I always have about an elevator was in my very early time smoking was about when I was like 19. And there was this there still is. There's this underground mall in Red Bank, and it's really just like you go underneath this store in Monmouth Street, and there's a staircase, and you go down. There's a hallway of like a dance studio, a glassware place, and stuff like that. But 2011, 2012, they weren't locking that. People go down there, they walk around, they at 10 at night, 12 at night, whatever. So we would just go down there and hold the elevator button closed and just smoke, and then let it ride up and down, and then let out the smoke from the door, and then keep doing that, and then just leave. Very I miss those convenient times where people didn't lock up as much.
Well, did you ever? We've been to 2 national normal conventions in Washington D.C. when it was illegal as can be to smoke, and they would have. I think they had like all the rooms 4th floor and above in a 9 story tall building. And that was an experience for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't have any pop. And I brought Cheryl. So after we got all settled in, I said, let's go out and score some pop. And she's, how are we going to do that? I go, you, Cheryl, we're going to go stand in the middle of a hallway, and when a door opens, we walk in that direction and go, hey, like we know somebody.
Yeah.
And whoever it is will have pop.
Right.
They'll probably have some in the room, and we'll get invited in. Oh, that took like 30 seconds. It was like that, you know. And but the thing is during the main room they had at this place was on the floor that allowed vehicles to drive in. So they had like, you know, one open section, and then there's a door that opened up through the hallway and into the parking garage. And, you know, and then it would go down into the garage, because this probably, I don't know, but it definitely went down one level and up. So we were allowed to smoke out there in that part of the parking garage. And at first people are like, man, what are we, some kind of animals herd us into a garage to smoke? And I'm like, okay, why are you bitching? You know, it's really cool, because like there was like lights dimly lit there, and it looked like hell. And you'd go down and there'd be lights, but not so much in this hallway area, and there'd be people still and everywhere, and there was like smoke being exhaled everywhere, and it was like I found it fascinating.
It reminds me of how I felt like. So there's this excellent scene from the It Crowd where it's a British office comedy where they have this what was it? The cigarette smokers are depicted being subjected to go to a smoking section outside, and it looks like a Russian gulag. Like it's depicted like it's like all gray. They're wearing their jackets. They're like, and I always felt that way when going out to like smoke weed, and like I'd have to go out to like a friend's garage or somewhere out in the backyard or something. I'm just sitting there in my heavy jacket. I'm just like, when will it end?
When did bars in general, I mean, it happened really a lot at once within a couple year period. When did that happen about?
Recreationally?
No, cigarettes. I mean, you couldn't smoke in bars anymore.
2001, 2000, something like that. Like so, like nationwide, I think that hit then.
Yeah. Well, there were people bitching about that, and I guess I see things differently. And this was in a time in my life like 2005. I was kind of all alone, so I'd go out and I'd force myself. Okay, you got to get out, Joe. Go out for either 45 minutes or 2 beers, whichever comes first, and then you go home. I do that just to get out. And if nature would take its course, fine. But I'm just like sitting there and hoping to go home. And but then I realized everybody's got to go outside and smoke. So basically, if you saw like a girl you might want to get to know coming in from a smoke, you knew she'd be going back out. So you'd have to have one of your own, whether you smoked or not. She's going out for a smoke, and get out there first. And then she comes, hey, what's up? Need a light, whatever. It was just like an instant. And then what do you do out there? You have nothing to do but stand and talk. There's nobody to look at. There's no music going on. It's just, you're just there. And she's not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere, and you're both going back in. And before that, it used to have to be sit closest to the bathroom because everybody's going to go in there at one time or another. And then when they're coming back out, you'd be all ready and in place.
Right.
But am I the only guy that did shit like that? Come on.
There's a lot of grand stoner memories I pull from as far as because I haven't thought about this in so long just because it's been recreational. I haven't, I think another one I can pull from is just I don't know, like when I first started smoking regularly, this spot, and I'd be hiding from my parents. The key spot I'd go to was just McDonald's after college. I'd go to McDonald's, I'd get some food, I'd light up, I'd watch stuff, I'd play games, I'd just sit in my car, do that, and then I'd go home. I feel like everyone had a routine like that until they felt comfortable, whether they felt immediately comfortable going smoking at home with their parents or if they felt they had to go somewhere and do it. It definitely got easier over time. It went from like me needing to smoke at McDonald's and stay far away from home and pretend like my parents didn't know about it when they kind of did, and then smoking in the driveway to smoking in my room with the window open or the backyard, and then being in my own apartment. So I feel like the experience is definitely different for people now, especially kids coming into it. Not because kids can buy it, but because, their parents have it. They're more of the mindset. They don't feel like they need to hide it in a lot of senses. And I feel like maybe in a way for those who still stigmatize it in their house, it's worse. Even kind of in certain areas, if the parents were to hear like, oh, Shelly's mom is a big prude about cannabis, that could definitely brood some negative public opinion nowadays.
I really don't think about it that often, but as you're talking, I'm realizing I got to watch it from 1970 through now, and man, it was really different. You know, it was distinctly counterculture. It was
Yeah.
a long time. You know, the numbers weren't really there. You know, it looked like, well, on the college campuses and all, but it was like a brand new thing. It was like 10 years before that, 1960, it was unheard of.
Like I feel like short of having you like a friend that you discovered pot with or some other circumstance, it was like your most common way of finding out another person did it is like you walk into the garage, you see them taking a hit, and
Or
it's like, oh, now you know.
You see them cleaning seeds. You know, it's like,
Yeah, but
what was the last time you've seen that?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where like even the people who supported it felt like they had to keep more quiet. It was definitely a strange kind of vibe altogether. I definitely agree.
You know what that means?
No.
I'll take a 3-finger lid, thank you.
Yep.
It's almost like one of them stop signs. Got to roll one up. Where's the guy? Where's the guy with the biggest hands? Oh, 3.
There's a lot of
biggest fingers, you know.
I look back at it too because you know I definitely kept it even at I discovered that even at that age I had some form of perspective because I always thought you know like you know even in 2012 2015 16 I was still like you know hey it was still worse 10 20 years ago with all of this even if it's not we're not talking legislatively technology has made it or one way or another has made it a lot easier or made it a lot easier than to be discreet about cannabis, whether it be just a basic technology of a one hitter or a vaporizer. So it's been interesting seeing the evolution. It's very surreal going to places like Florida when I do and seeing that you know it's like it's medically legal, we're still not allowing it for recreational use, but at the same time we're not cracking down on the smoke shops that are selling it, which is an entirely different vibe than here in New Jersey. It's so weird. Other states that don't have it legalized, I hope others see that too. I hope others, when you travel and you go to states that aren't legal with cannabis, you absorb how weird that is. That you know they have a problem with this, and just let that sink in. Because I've tried to do that a lot when I've gone to like North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida recently. Minneapolis, Massachusetts were legalized recently, didn't they, Jim?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Not Massachusetts been okay to grow your own originally up to like 12 or 24 plants and as many as 6 people to a household. So people temporarily relocated to Massachusetts and with 5 people in a house.
Yeah.
And they could all grow a certain amount and make edibles and then come back to New Jersey with them.
Yeah. So
you know something historically about this whole the whole journey of cannabis from let's say the mid 50s through now, you know, because I don't know anything about that. That was really like underground shit. But
yes,
but what you don't hear much about is how the 1979, 1980, maybe even 78, 77. That was a period of it's going to be legal any year now because there really was no real enforcement if looking for people with personal use. You know, you could get stopped, at least in my neck of the woods with Point Pleasant to Tom's River, and never be cited for a few joints. Actually, on a good night, like a weekend night, you wouldn't get cited if it was under an ounce. They were looking for intent to distribute, and that kicked in at 25 grams or an ounce, one of the two. It could have been even 50 grams. So it would get, and then it turned 90 degrees almost on a dime. Just say no. You know, what the hell happened? Where did it go? You know, and that was because, as I've talked about before when I did more public speaking, I remember engaging people from the steps of Albany for Rob Robinson, and being one of those people who lived through that time and take part of the blame for how things are today, because that could have got driven home if everybody, I mean, it was just rolling that way because people were just finding out the hype isn't true. You know, I mean, real quick, it was, everybody actually thought it was really a lot. Anyway, so the lack of engagement, and this was when I'm talking the lack of engagement, this is when National Normal started. I think it was 74. And I didn't know much about them then, but they started at exactly the right time. And that's why somebody like Keith would become a lawyer. And generally, when you're first becoming a lawyer, the first thing you don't do is start something that's going to keep you from being a lawyer for hire. You know, in other words, it is like times of no money for a full decade easily. You know, and it was interesting, but it was just. And sometimes I feel like we're not a purposeful segue, but I feel like we, meaning advocates, are involved in a form of that right now. You know, we're so close, but something. Where did I just read that? Yeah, I get. Was it the normal press release? Yeah, it was something about. Ever since people walked away or let up or whatever. In other words, there was a big outcry for home grow for adult use for the first half year. It was like awesome, you know. And then it kind of settled in a little. And after a year, it was only really patients that were gearing up, not adult concerned uses. They kind of faded, you know, kind of lost steam.
Mm-hmm.
And what gets me is they didn't really, very many of them migrate over to, well, let's get this done for patients. They just walked, like,
They walked along.
And the thing is, when you put out a press release and say, after turning things back, you know, however it was said, it was like, I wouldn't make a big deal about being part of the problem, you know. It's like it is what happened, and I understand it because I smoke pot, you know.
Right.
It's hard to beat your head against the wall for more than 6 months, and I'm just surprised at how it died down, and now it is in the last year really come back, and a lot of that is due to the the regularity in New Jersey. But we're still kind of doing it, you know. And I mean, as individuals, everybody's ready to go to an event. You know, you have the right event, you'll get people there. But it's the events that Chris Christie could outlast by just not being around them, and then they disappear. It's that everyday lobbying influence of some way. So the weekly meetings for home growth that they're having is the regularity that was missing all along. I'm just not confident that the efforts focused on the cart more than the horse. You know, if a medical bill can't be posted for a hearing, home grow efforts for adult use aren't going to fare any better. It's what's going to happen is eventually, and it's going that way, you know, because it's building up a head of steam for adult use again. So in the fact, though, in doing that, this is going to cause our Senate president to eventually have to let go of the one rope he knows he can let go of to stop the conversation with adults. So in effect, the new escalation, the renewed interest in what about us,
Right.
Without recognition, for the most part, that medical home grow and adult home grow are not going to happen simultaneously any more than they did with Jake's Law when patient reviewing addition, what do you call it? A Jake's Law. When that was attached to getting getting legalization voted in, legalization was coupled with Jake's Law, the improvements for the medical program, and didn't get passed. They couldn't get the votes. So at that point, Jake's Law, those provisions couldn't just be cut and put up by themselves, and this was in like June, it became evident. It wasn't like at the end of a year.
Right.
And there was no bill just for patients. So it took 8 months after that to finally have it ready to go. And then, of course, a bill was written. But patients lost ground being tied to that. So to, in effect, be tied to adult legalization as if they're going to happen at the same time, I think can be a detriment to patients. I mean, historically speaking, we have something to extrapolate from. And that's how it worked out, because it's not my rule, people. There are many legislators ready to do what it takes for medical cannabis who are not there at this point for adult use. And when we have a Senate president who actually has, with most people, not us, but with most people, a leg to stand on, saying, oh, program's not up and running. Because that's what happened with patients. Got yanked out and promised back once the program's up and running. Patients paid their dues. They waited, they suffered, they fucking died waiting for it. Something that should have been their rightful medicine. And to somehow equate the two, I'm sorry, it's starting to piss me off. They shouldn't be equated. It's like somebody who's kind of got fired from his third job tells somebody with any person of color how hard it is for him, and it's like, people like him should be able to get jobs better or whatever. There's certain things that don't equate until you've rolled a mile in somebody's wheelchair, perhaps. So the smart move would be to really make sure S1393 gets a hearing. Everybody, all together now, all that. Because most of the information that will be heard in the Senate, expert testimony from both sides of the issue, with senators from both sides of the issue having a chance in real time to ask questions. And Joe Vitelli, a committee chairman, who has shown he doesn't let bullshit fly in his committee. He will stop you. He would stop David Evans from talking bullshit. So he can do that. But the thing is, that has to happen first. If that bill doesn't once it gets a hearing and the information is there, senators can extrapolate that to home grow for adults. And adults can use what was shown there, what applies 100% to adult use home grow. 100%. A lot of what comes out in that patient hearing is applicable. And not when you're talking about what it does for somebody's health, but all the other things. Well, what might happen? Well, here's what's going to happen. No. Let's go to other states for what's happening there. And let's get patients off the battlefield first, I mean, it's not like it's, all men throwing women and children out of the lifeboats and getting in. It's not that. It's just
urgent.
It's not just urgent even for patients. It's urgent for adult home grow provisions. The program is, it is getting off the ground, but the delay game doesn't start. Okay, the program's off the ground, Senator Scutari. From that point on, even when he says it's off the ground, the adult use one. How long do you think it's going to take? What? Oh my God! In one session? You learn from how it went from patients. Don't think it's going to be easier for adults. That makes no sense. It's going to be as hard or harder.
I kind of wonder if a lot of these guys who are chiming in every time, because you hear a lot, especially like when I'm talking, you're talking, we have someone bringing in medical home grow, and then someone chimes in, well, what about adult use?
Yeah.
I kind of wonder how many of those guys are really genuine or not just throwing a wrench in the cogs.
No, I don't know. You know,
It wouldn't surprise me if some of them are just doing that to just,
yeah.
knowing it will.
Okay, anybody that would do that, I consider to be irrelevant towards the end goal. So it's if somebody wants to be like that, there's no skin off my back. And when I say my back, I mean patient's back.
Well, I mean, isn't that a big part of what we're dealing with? Is every time we chime up and say this.
Oh yeah, well, what about everybody should get it. You know what? Okay, yeah, should, and we should all love one another. Well, we shouldn't have wars. Oh God. We should be rid of racism.
But my point
should be. Fuck you all.
It's the big thing blocking us.
It's a playing field that we have. If we want to waste time changing the playing field, or do we find out where we fit best on that playing?
And that's
field?
my point. Is the argument being made in response to that? It is more appropriate to test with the medical ground before introducing to the adult.
Simultaneously. I mean, they should be two simultaneous efforts. Absolutely. But if a person's only going to have one, the most good will be done getting Scutari to let go of the patient row, because he's going to have to do that, because that's how he's going to all of a sudden pivot and say, let's see how this works too. First.
By the way,
he's going to add that to it. Watch, we'll come back, we'll review this in a year and go, holy shit, Jim knew what the fuck he was talking about.
No, you did, because I'll tell you, I was telling Lefty this before the show started.
I won't be here by then, by the way, This will be vacant down here.
I have this Rabbit AI assisted tool, and I asked it, what are the big blocking characters of home grow cannabis within New Jersey? Scutari, the AI picked up Scutari right off the bat. But that was a reference from an article. Yeah, but here's the interesting part. That was a reference from an article. In its own opinion,
in the AI inflatable rat named after him. But go ahead.
Right, but my point is, in its own opinion, not sourced from directly from an article, it stated that the reasons that it is being blocked right now are mostly political and not legislative.
The shotgun scene.
Oh, there we go.
Good one.
It's a great scene.
Yeah.
William Dafoe hands you a shotgun with weed in it. Okay. Yeah. There you go. You're going to hit that.
Forrest Whitaker.
Love it.
All-star cast. I may have to watch this movie later.
And you know what? That was a good movie. I saw that in a movie theater.
Oh, me too. That was good.
Okay, wait, here's a more general question. What's your favorite drug movie?
Oh, Midnight Express.
Midnight Express. That's a good one.
Lefty?
Oh, yeah, that's a really good. When you say drug movie, what do you mean drug movie?
I mean, like, my examples are a tie between Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, or Los Angeles, and Bad Lieutenant with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, Bad Lieutenant. You got to go with Harvey Keitel's version, man.
No, what are you talking about? Bad Lieutenant. There's a scene where Nicolas Cage creepily shows up behind a door and then suffocates a woman on her breathing machine out of his cracked out hallucinations. There's so many good gold bits from that movie. And yes, it's a terrible movie if you look at it for all it's worth. But there's so many gold bits. You've seen it, right?
Have you seen Harvey Keitel's version?
Once, not as many times as I've seen the Nicolas Cage version.
Okay, you got to watch it again. I watched Nicolas Cage version. You got to watch Harvey Keitel's version, and we'll talk about this on Thursday because Harvey Keitel naked, crying in the room.
I thought you were going to say he's going to be on the show. Fuck, because Harvey Keitel, yeah,
full frontal crying.
Can we like pool money together and generate a AI a character of Mitch Hedberg and interview him?
I could do his voice. I could fake it. Hey, listen, that shotgun scene. there's something about it I never noticed, and I wouldn't have noticed then. And certainly, when I worked at Woodlake in Lakewood, building condominiums in 1971, there was 200 people there under the age of 25 working, 10 foremen. I mean, there was a couple carpenters in there, but it was almost all people either going to Vietnam or coming back. And that what would happen is I learned with the shotgun. Yeah, it's done in like a tobacco pipe with a whole bunch of good weed in it, and you get that going. And that's what you do with the shotgun, because it's a consistent stream. But when they didn't have a shotgun, they did what was called the elephant. Your normal jacket had extra wide holes in the armpits because of, mobility, on, off things, than normal shirts. So the jacket, you could take a jacket and put the arm thing right up to the face. You're looking down the barrel of a sleeve, and all the rest, there's no way to get air in. So when you're looking down that sleeve and the pipe starts blowing in this cloud of smoke, at first it's fun. Here it comes, and you got smoke all around you. Then you can't breathe. There's too much smoke. And then you try to get out, but then somebody has a hold of the jacket and you can't get out.
Yes.
And you really start to almost pass out, and then he lets you out. Holy shit. That's how they did that. By the way, this joint, when I had statute of limitations, bales, when it was roll one up out of a bale at a stash house, and you had no papers. That's what we used, newspaper. You crumble it up, pretty much make it pliable, and use newspaper, and it was longer than that, and it had half an ounce in it, and hardly had any seeds to clear.
I'm looking at this, and I'm remembering when I was still living with my parents, my dad once paid me to category and catalog all his vinyls and old movies and stuff like that, and how many Cheech and Chongs and that. It was like a time machine. It was really, really cool. But this one was very just vivid in my mind of seeing.
I got a segregated picture of Brother Rick, who looked almost exactly like that. Not the actual necessarily, the whole rest of it, the hair, the beard, exactly. Not the nose and not the glasses, but boy, he looked a lot like him. And seeing them actually seeing their show there, I'm meeting them at WMMR, and then going to see the show that night was so classic.
It's wild seeing this because it's
yeah.
I have to get pictures of my dad when he was going to school. He had that mustache. It's crazy looking at him then, and just all the stories he told, and now he thinking about the times he'd yell at me smoking and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's anyone, with their parents. Oh.
So I'm on Facebook. There's a few good home grower sites, and then there's national sites also about home growing, or just about marijuana improvement laws, more nationally. And I never thought till today to write a thing up about, although you're not in New Jersey, if you put this up on your site, anybody knows somebody from New Jersey, put it up on their page and ask them to spread it around here. And it's already doing a little bit of good, oddly enough,
Yeah.
So there's so many, So I'm not even segueing back to something. Now, anything I can think of with hunger pops in my head, you're out, man. I'm in on that. Yeah. And also the QR code. There's places that are cannabis friendly, or that you would like any kind of head shop, glass shop, things like that. Yeah, they'll put up the old QR code for home grow. It's like
I
what
mean,
they're like. So I'm going to
you-
get that QR code out, man. Technology.
Have any like? Has anyone ever thought of reaching out to like horticulture shops, like the shops you go to when you would need to get stuff to home grow, and just be like, "Hey, you know, you guys would benefit a lot from this if you guys fought with us."
Well, Shore Grow hosts shit that CMMJ gets to the table at and all, and actually make money at that one. And yeah, they stand ready. They're going to testify at home grow hearings, and I'm going to be able to help them do it. You know, I mean, that's the deal. You know how much fun we could have at a home grow hearing, because we would be able to. Okay, I don't know how many minutes you get. It could be as few as 2 if it's crowded.
2 to 7.
Could be so. Yeah, but they're going to have a time limit on this.
Yeah.
They will. And the thing is, if you can get what you have to say out in half the time, there's a whole pool of information that if somebody else already is going to say that, you don't want to double up.
Yes.
So you have 20-second things you can interject. And a group of a dozen people could have the list. All have the list of what they're going to take up.
And
we all know.
Like 2
but
minutes.
then comes that stop. You know, hey, okay, listen, you take this. You know, we'd have to be able to be somewhere in that room in proximity to keep in touch, or you know, we can get a lot said. And with me, I'm going to see if I can do what I can. I'll even just read a statement from somebody who's a counterpart to the legislators there in a state that has home grow law, and read a statement that will fit as one of these things we want to say, because we know what they're going to say. And if we don't cut them down at the knees and be ready to interject somewhere, there's somebody against this that has 3 minutes planned. And if all of a sudden, holy shit, I was just taken care of and I haven't gone yet, you know?
Yeah, no, but okay, so
we got to wound a few of them.
Those
metaphor.
Yes, we've all seen how those hearings are filmed on TV. Like, you know, they have the low down camera angle, the person sitting down at the table right there. I would love to see Jim sitting there at the table right there, low down camera pointed at him, and Lefty's in the background dressed like the Bond going.
I can picture Lefty at this because we've seen each other at various committee meetings. Yeah, Lefty represents like a pro these days. Yeah, and
but you'd have to wear a tie. Bongholio would have to wear a tie.
Well, look, when we were at that health committee meeting, and his Senator Cody, his name is Dick for a reason. It's his name, but that's why he's Dick.
Who? I thought you said his name was literally Dick for a reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah, his name is Dick. But he was sitting there. So the way it was is the oblong sort of seating area like this. The committee wasn't like a round table. It was like spread out, all facing one way, kind of mostly. So we sat right across from him. So he had to look at Lefty the entire time. And it was just kind of funny. It was like, yeah, we own this room.
We own
this room. Yeah, and it was pretty fun. So eventually that committee meeting will happen, and it is going to be epic. Real epic.
Wait.
Yeah, real epic. Well, you better be able to, because it's been a 4-year wait so far.
Cody was awful.
There's a little people actually, literally, there's a lot of patients that couldn't wait.
Yep, a lot of them died.
Good. Okay, I'm pointing at you. Yeah, I'm actually pointing.
I'm a point. Yeah, I'm a patient. I'm waiting.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you are because you're still alive too. There's some of those those patients didn't
re-register. We're running out of time.
Because they did run out of time, and we got the whole freaking list of advocates and patients that, you know, so basically. I give that one women and children first, you know, type of type of attitude, meaning, patients and sick pets, because it's good for pets too.
Righteous. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sort
You
of
do
like,
know. You do know.
I feel sort of a reawakening, and everything I did when I did everything was because I was scared, and now it's because I'm angry.
Had already passed. And patients were promised a chance to revisit this. It's like 15 years later. Now is the time. There's been a bill simply to allow 4 mature plants and 4 immature plants. I mean, that's really not a lot. It would be easy to pass. It's a bill that should easily get passed because we are a medical cannabis outlier state. All but one other state that has medical programs. You can grow your own, especially if your state also allows adult consumption of cannabis as being legal. So we're an outlier state, and there needs to be a hearing for a bill that's been blocked by one man, Senate President Scutari, for over 3 years now. He will not let Senate Health Committee Chairman Joe Vitelli post it for a hearing. There are co-sponsors that are not saying, Senator Scutari, let it be heard. If a person doesn't think it's a good bill, speak against it at the committee hearing and say why. If you think it's a good bill, you do that. People come from both sides. It's not a run over from either side. If somebody doesn't want it, they should be willing to say why in a committee hearing. But to avoid it means Senator Scutari knows it will pass, and he doesn't want it passed because he doesn't want to deal with home growth for adults, which is the big issue. So he's
nice. Sometimes I freeze up.
Even when you're pre-recorded.
Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, I like that.
Jim, I invite you to send me, I would love to cover this. I would love to cover this topic more. The problem is that I don't always have you as a reference point 24/7. If you would send me a Word document of talking points on home growth, I would happily turn those into shorts and bits for YouTube for my channel.
Making a note. Hold on. What's the key word there? Talking points.
Yes.
I got a 50-50 of reading this. I got some real quick handwriting. No, I'd be glad to do. What I do is a lot of times when I think I've made a succinct point and I really like the way it pans out, I do save them. I just got to find out where they are. It's like I don't want to redo that.
Yeah, please send me some of those.
Yeah.
I'd love because I want to be able to help more, and I try to do my bit of cannabis advising over the web, despite all the difficulties that deals with. But I definitely want to feel like I'm helping more. Lefty's loading. He's in an eternal loading state.
You never know. Yeah, well, that's there's going to be a time for it this session, and I couldn't tell you right now even how it's going to work out. I'm really going to play this one by ear, and it's there's a lot of people that aren't going to like me.
Well, if you don't have anyone that doesn't like you, then you're not doing anything. You're not doing it right.
No, it's there's things that just are, and I'm kind of reluctant to talk about them sometimes. But see, what happened is in the beginning, 3 decades ago, I was nothing but the hammer. I had to rely on exactly what you said, that I could hand out or read to people because I didn't know anything about it yet, but I knew the door had to be open, and that was the start to walk across the state. And
real quick, Lefty, if you want, go to my channel, and I put up a new promo if you want to play that.
Well, anyway, what happened is, and Lefty kind of went through a very similar thing. He'll understand this. I think he probably already knows. When you're considered that and you're good at it, you open doors for people. But they don't expect you to know as much as them once that door's open. And that could be true at first.
And that's
but wait, hold on. along the way, you have a good idea, and it's kind of simple. The natural reaction from a more academic is, yeah, that's pretty simple. If it was a good idea, I would have thought about it, so it can't be that good of an idea. Like Mitch Hedberg.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Convince himself that. But then that leaves sort of like, no, I already signed a petition. No, not like this one.
No.
So ready to brush aside. But there's never been a petition anywhere in any state to get a bill past a blockade to its first hearing. Never.
I think that that's the big thing I like about the cannabis industry is that, and a point that was made very evident to me when I met Nathan from Puffin, is that the cannabis industry it very much welcomes new perspectives, very much welcomes other people's points of view, as far when it comes to cannabis, when it comes to, because like I've said before, they know the market they're dealing with, and the market they're dealing with is something that has been illegal for a long time and doesn't have a lot of well-founded information that's spread around very much. So that's definitely something I appreciate about the industry altogether, as far as
just fair warning here. I'm looking at the situation and about to be two people having dinner. I don't need to eat it. It's just that they're in Lefty's Playhouse here, and it's, I got it all quiet, but I won't be doing all this.
Jim, check out this story. This is wild.
Yeah, what is
it's nuts.
Capybara. Well, I guess I'll
Furry
find
An
trapping.
animal might just be the best way to
Oh,
catch a
oh.
suspect.
That is what police in Peru did. Take a look at this. A police officer in this costume here captured a suspect drug dealer yesterday, a suspected drug dealer. Body cam footage shows the costumed officer holding a Valentine's Day gift. The disguised officer then charges into the home when the door is open and pins down the suspect. The same police unit used a similar strategy last year, wearing a teddy bear costume to lure in a suspect. Wow.
That is quite the strategy there.
Ooh, look at that.
My goodness.
Not ooh,
Found
but
some interesting-
yeah. I mean, they got wow.
Ooh.
Interesting evidence.
No,
And
but
that
you know
same
what?
Costume brought him into
Here's the thing.
police.
Watch breaking news.
I watched this before. Lefty showed me this before, and I didn't get the whole thing about it. What I love about that is they were outside just doing the thing, attracting people, and then they saw the drug deal, and they're like in the capybara costume. Police! Hey! Barge into the home. Hey, don't move!
Yeah.
Just you have this capybara man just restraining you, and you're like, even with Peru, are my rights being violated? Like, what's a capybara is breaking into my home? I feel like some line has been crossed.
Well, no, apparently if the door is open, you get to go in. It's sort of
Does
like
a capybara get to go in? Does the law apply to capybaras? That's what he was dressed as. I mean,
yeah. What was funny about that to me, the funniest part was subtle. It was her going, "Ooh, look at that." Well, not ooh.
Yeah,
but she sounded like, "Ooh, look at that."
Before I saw this again, I didn't know this was him literally chasing down a subject. Essentially, this was before I thought this was like he saw the guy in the costume and he solicited a furry.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you look very enticing. How much you charge an hour?" And then they brought him into the apartment, and that's where they got him. They're like, "Listen, we know what we're doing here. We know what you're doing here. You brought me here for sex. You're going to jail."
What would happen if somebody actually took some of Bong Holio's product from him?
Don't say
and he could have to run out. I mean, guy could walk away backwards. Thanks. But if somebody filmed that,
I feel like
a bong chased down somebody who took it.
Well, okay, so if we're
That's
looking
such a
at this
great
logistically, they took a piece of weed off of the bong. I would label that as what was it called? Severance of a limb and assault, and he has every right to chase them after that. Absolutely.
Yeah. How did that work out? I mean, it used to be you could actually smoke that. There was that tube that
a person.
Yeah, but where was that? Right in the bowl inside the bigger Bongholio.
Oh my god, can you smoke out of Bongholio?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Actually, yeah.
I don't like that.
He's
You
a
could
working
dab,
bong.
too.
I don't like that.
Working bong.
Yeah, you're sucking through Tygon tubing, so it's so
I won't do it. I'll have my best friend do it. I'll be like, hey, you should go hit that bong guy.
It's a great novelty.
He's a great novelty.
No,
It's not the healthiest way to smoke weed.
If it weren't for Bongholio, Lefty would have never met the governor Nick Scutari at the stadium for spring stadium.
And you know
that,
what?
That was a direct result of a human bong costume that people make fun of.
And because,
you look like a Joe. You got him in this,
And because of all the stuff you'll be acquiring from that store, you'll be better equipped next time when you go up to Scutari and be like, here, take a hit. Come on. Come on, take a hit. Here, come on.
Hit me, Scutari. Hit me.
Just get him right in his no. Ask him to take a hit out of Bongholio, and it's just like right down between his legs. He's like, here, come on. Take a little puff. Come on, it's legal in New Jersey. Don't be a dick.
I wonder if hey, why not? Cross my mind. I wonder if somebody that was like really good at deception.
Oh God!
Decided to call, engage in whatever kind of senators helped get things done in another state. Scutari's counterpart, only the one that was getting it done, not tearing it apart, and tried to represent Senator Scutari. Saying you were somebody, whatever, and wondered if they'd want to take part in a Zoom meeting, to be set up, and just get a person to say sure, and then ask for one of like 3 dates and say, we'll check with the senator and see, okay, fine, and then to actually arrange it, to the point you could present it to Scutari and said, listen, you're expected on a Zoom meeting with Senator so-and-so in whatever state. It was arranged without your
call to action.
Without your knowledge. Yet they're expecting you. Should I say you're not willing? And you can say, oh, no, it would be, would that even be illegal? GoFundMe site for legal expenses in case it is. Whatever.
If I don't know if there's a law that says you can't claim an investigation or legal case exists that doesn't.
No, but it has nothing to do with the law. It's as good as a Jerky Boys prank,
Oh.
I mean, think about it.
I'd research it nonetheless.
It's a prank,
It's a prank.
I wouldn't. I don't have that. Some people just have the ability to talk and connive. Actually, it should be another legislator. They're good.
I'll do some conniving right now. Here's a way we to get some little strategy. So here's a call to action to everyone. You find a neighbor who is a known botanist, someone who just grows regular plants, and you rapidly call and say, my neighbor's growing at home, my neighbor's growing at home, my neighbor's growing home, or something more subtle and strategize. And then they come to realize that they're just, and then hopefully they'll get enough of these calls reporting people that are just growing legal plants at home that they'll just be like, okay, well, we're sick of these calls and the waste of time. So fine, you can grow at home. Just annoy them. But that's more conniving or stupidity. I don't know. Jim, you're muted.
I cough. I mute the cough. Yeah, I would worry about pissing somebody off without a guaranteed return. I know. I'm the one that's
with everything, though. Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of throwing everything and see what sticks. That should be pothead's greatest advantage. They look for third and fourth ways. They know how to get around.
Oh my God, is Donald Trump a stoner? He's throwing is that something? He's a teetotaler, but we've never asked him like, hey, do you smoke weed? No one's ever asked him that question.
He's already made that statement, and it's believable because he's that is uncool as can be.
I would love that if that statement, if
No.
they never touched on that, and it's just like, oh, well, we missed that.
No, he's been always. He doesn't drink either.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's been outward that he doesn't drink.
No, but
Like,
he's never tried pot. He doesn't drink. And I can't find fault with that. It's the one thing he's ever shown a conviction for.
Absolutely.
So he does actually have one courage of conviction. It only applies to himself, though.
Lefty, are you searching for Wiener? You're opening the window for it. You're inviting it. You're screaming out for it. You're like, hello, boys. Hey there. But no one's coming. No one's coming.
So what?
Pun intended. Very much pun intended there.
So how's things going at Mad Hatter, Lefty? Is it getting all ready?
Did you see the hat I sent you that you should definitely order?
Top hat?
No, it's Mad Hatter.
This place is amazing. I'm really happy. I'm so happy they're open. I'm having such fun here. That there's people here now. It's great.
Yeah, you're kind of like an attraction. Now, can they? How are you visible to customers while they're being customers on the way in, on the way out?
As they're buying, as they're purchasing it, they can look in at the studio, or they can see us on the monitor too.
We should do a late.
Okay, so when they look in, but it's closed off, you don't have.
No, it's barnyard windows, old school barnyard windows.
What is that?
They're like the old kind of glass, that's kind of like.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, well, that's kind of it makes you the attraction, the zoo.
I'll try to come by Thursday. I know it's going to snow Thursday. I'll try to come by Thursday to the studio for the cast.
Let me mute.
But glad to think. I mean, I didn't expect things to go any less. I thought you guys were going to fire off what's going here, and it seems like you are. I hope you guys get a decent catalog of product sooner rather than later. Not that you don't have a good start.
What other products should they? What else should they get here? What's your favorite?
I've enjoyed. I just got back from Clade 9's event, so definitely enjoyed them. I would say Timeless is cool in theory. Dealing with them is another bag of marbles. Garden Greens, love them. They're just incredible. Old Pal. I've been loving a lot recently. I love their product. Their vapes are a little standard tasting, but the strains they get are great. They have these sugar, like literal just sugar that you can pour in your drinks and stuff. Botanist. I love them. People say this and that about them. I like them. They're good. Their tincture is awesome.
I need commercials from all these vendors. We'll start doing commercials.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good idea.
What do you mean?
For the show, commercial show.
Oh yeah. Tell Lefty, tell them you have someone that'll edit them for you. If they don't have any that are apt for your show.
Well, we may need some of our own film editing done if we revisit Patience. Why am I still waiting? Which at some point naturally is going to happen, especially when we start gathering again.
Well, that was yours. Yours is pretty good because you know what I did?
That was good.
Pause.
Yeah.
I took every pause out and every when you went I took it all out. So it was just straightforward Jim.
Yeah,
we shoot that like behind the music of like why am I still waiting?
It made me look knowledgeable more so than I am. I mean, because it did have a flow, and I'm like, I knew you did that, man. I'm like, man, that's awesome.
You barely took a breath anyway, as it is, but I took those out. The few you took, I took them out.
No, it's I remembered that sort of, but it was kind of interesting because like when I edit what I write, I have a frame of mind I can step into like that, like I'm not me and I'm looking from a different direction. It's real easy. I picture somebody I know.
Yes.
You know, but anyway, looking at that, I thought, yeah, that works. You know, what I'd want to do too, I thought about it today. Sometimes I'll read something to try it out on Kathy. And because she's in another room, I got to say it kind of loud, but I'm reading it because I'm proud of it. And I kind of roll it out like that, you know? And then I'm thinking, looking at that, wow, a lot of the things I write, if I could get good at a presentation of actually reading them off, and because I feel it, you know, and a
lot of that's channeling.
It would probably work, but it would be interesting to put that out as an attachment to the written words. When
a lot of that,
if you follow what I posted.
Yeah,
I post something to have that as the attachment to the one attachment I can get on a post on Facebook. So it's you can read it, or you can look at me, watch me, and hear it, or you could do both.
I definitely believe you're capable of doing that on the dime. I think what it takes is when you're sitting there in front of that camera, you need to think about those moments we've been on the podcast and you've gotten into deep emotion about and raised your voice a bit. You need to let go of those, because there's a lot of things that come into play with that. When you're sitting in front of the camera, you think about your noise restraint, you think about your tone, you think about how you sound to other people. A lot of that you got to let go of, and you got to think about who's in front of you. Is everyone you're trying to get your message across? Is Cheryl? Is everyone that you've worked with, and you're making that plea to people that are right there in front of you that care about you, and let that work in your gut.
I
definitely think you're capable of it.
I've seen there's two things, because sometimes, well, more often in the past than now, there'd be video of me on a good rant. One was at the steps of Albany. A good video of that where I was pretty much imploring much younger people, you know, like people like me that stood by as like a spectator, like a sporting event, and it just appeared with Ronald Reagan's "Just Say No," you know, in a flash. We didn't take advantage. Don't make that mistake. It's not a spectator sport. That kind of thing. But when I had to go out after that, and I was going to do something like that, I would watch that before I went to get me going, as if it was somebody else. I did that because I really liked that. And another was when I found out when Kathy and I went to a festival, Rob Robinson's, one of them. I found out by looking at the sign. Oh, look, 11 o'clock Friday night. Rob Robinson and Jim Miller open up the festival. And I'm reading that. And I'm like, well, holy shit, you know, I want to be ready for that. So I decided I wanted to out Rob. And I don't know how much fun it was for Kathy's first festival, but we sat in the van, and I got like really, really high, writing and editing and trying it out, you know. Stuff like, you know, Bob Marley had it right in his redemption song. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look no longer? That's how long. You know, see, I remember that part. But it was so, and actually, you know, Rob was sort of impressed because I was so well prepared. It was about 5 minutes worth. 5 minutes is a long, long time. It was like lights, people. Yeah, I got that too, you know, but not now. I forget actors' names, but he played Kelso's brother in that '70s show. What's that guy's name? The actor.
Kelso's brother?
Yeah, like he's famous. He does a lot of stuff now. He's in all sorts of stuff.
Hold on. Kelso's brother. Why is that blanket Kelso?
Yeah, I don't know. If you looked up, look up that '70s cast. You'll know his name when you see it. It's funny.
Casey Kelso?
Yeah, but what was his?
Luke Wilson. Sorry, yeah.
Okay, Luke Wilson.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, but anyway, he was on. I was walking by it. He's on a Drew Barrymore show, and I really don't like that show, but I saw him on it, and she was asking him questions like Lefty might ask, like, "What would you, if you could? What would you tell your younger self?" Oh, and that was a good one, But anyway, he started talking about it, and in the process, he summed up something like talked about sometimes now being older for one thing. He wasn't talking about what he would tell him, but I don't have the memory I used to. And she goes, "Oh, short-term memory loss," and like some sort of hot joke or something, which was pretty cool. But then he actually, I could see myself, and he was talking. He went, "So if that was the answer to the question you asked, what was the question you asked?" Which was really funny. He wasn't acting. He's a good actor, but he wasn't acting. And he had that, holy crap, I forgot what I was talking about, right on TV. That's because he was given a good answer.
Love that. Jim, have you watched, I haven't given this a chance yet, but I've seen it a lot and bits of it, and I think it seems like it has promise because the sequel to that '70s show wasn't great. That '90s show on Netflix.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
That I'm waiting to pull the trigger on giving it a try because it gives off that same genuine feel as the '70s show, and I don't know if that's just that Red and his wife are still there.
I don't know. That '70s show, they played up stuff. Whoever wrote that show, they had the background of it.
They did.
I mean, the first show I saw, the Jesus, they climbed the water tower and painted a pot leaf on it to look more like somebody giving the finger.
Yeah, that show kicked ass. Honestly, it was great.
Yeah, I know, but then I wonder, I don't know what that does for my brand, being able to quote that '70s show shit because I thought it was freaking hilarious.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, if you keeping yourself in that mindset of that time, I think is definitely relevant for your message. If anything, what we were just talking about, channeling that emotion you're trying to channel.
Okay, you got a show, and you want to do that show, and they say we don't want any smoking pot on the show.
Right.
Oh, okay. So you just see a revolving from one to the other around a table with constant smoke blowing by. And droopy looking eyes. I mean, it was like sitting in the middle of a lazy Susan of the people talking like that. So they did it like that. And I thought that is the kind of thinking outside the box exhibited by what they're trying to show on the show. So I found it pretty good because that was really the age of awareness and, when it became really mainstream.
What was that? We were talking about Mitch Hedberg earlier. He has that. You were just saying about the smoking scenes where he says, I think it's much cooler that I got to smoke fake pot with Peter Frampton on a stage, or no, that I smoked real pot hanging out in casual with Peter Frampton than the fact that I smoked fake pot on a movie with him.
Yeah. Well, there's got to be a whole list of movies like that.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, okay. What one? Easy Rider. There you go.
Well, I would guess
that one was real. They were puffing on.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The Longest Yard, the original version, Elliot Gould, Donald Sutherland. Yeah, they had fake ones, but turned out everybody smelled the real one. It was quite the fun. So there's a whole list of that. But why act?
Some didn't want like it's the same thing we were talking about earlier about the stigma with it with now and then, and then even in the movie industry, I think if they could find a way around it, they still were like, no, we don't want to have that as our image or this or that or something, even though they're doing it.
Well,
but
whatever.
It's
we got a guest Thursday night. Tell me something about it, Lefty.
Oh, he's not coming on tonight? It's 6:00, so I'd guess not. But
no, that's
Lefty, you're muted.
No, Jason couldn't make it tonight. He's going to come next week.
Okay.
Got somebody Thursday though.
Yeah, who's our guest for Thursday?
She's a cannabis nurse.
Yeah.
But she's got letters and Q's like a PQSL, some kind of medical designation. I don't know what it is. You know, but I don't know. You remember?
It'll be interesting to hear from
George Bush. Quick acronym story. I'm leaning in. Yeah, when George Bush found himself talking about something, I think he was actually he forgot OBGYN. You know, OBGYN. So anyway.
I don't know what's going on. There you go, Jim. Go.
Yeah.
He's muted.
Well, anyway, George Bush got stuck for words, and it was about tort reform, so doctors wouldn't be getting sued so easily. And this way, what he said is this way, an OBGYN can, and he didn't know what to say. Practice their love with their patients. Practice their love. He got that. He settled.
Weird.
That was funny on so many levels because I liked when he did that. The bumpkin. It was endearing. It was the everyman thing.
Yes.
But I don't know. You know.
Good array of products you guys got there, Lefty. Good array of products.
Look at that.
Fernway, Timeless. Is the podcast still playing on the TVs? I'll give a shout out to a brand. Look at the little dude. Look at the little Mad Hatter. The known dick. He could tell you how to get out of here, or he could give you a slew of directions and misinformation.
Rob made that.
Love it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yes, it does. So are you going anywhere tonight, Lefty? Town hall meetings, anything?
When is the next town hall that you're going to?
I'm going to Bayonne tomorrow night.
Well, you don't have far to go.
No, not really.
You'll probably be going from there, which is the joke, you know. I gotta leave. I'll be right back.
Dover's coming up soon. Edison's coming up soon. Yep.
You're wonderful.
Well, it's like a circuit.
A circuit or circuit?
A circuit.
Both.
Yeah. You know, it's like a rodeo circuit. Where's the next rodeo? Oh, Dover.
Dodio.
Or
So.
Clown car circuit.
Yeah. Clown car.
You know, it would be funny piling out of the same car, really.
I had this a memory I love as far as clowns. It's weird sounding, but it's like 2 New Year's Eve ago. I was at a party, and I remember I was tripping on acid, and my friend dragged me over and started talking about. They just pictured a scenario because they knew I was tripping, and they said, imagine you're at a funeral for a clown. You go up to the casket to pay your respects, and you open up the casket, and I say, casket. They say, whatever. You open it up, and the body falls out, and another body, and another body. Shit.
Or you
clown casket body fall.
Or you have a little thing sticking out of the pocket with a sign that says "Hold me." It keeps coming, It's like an endless thing.
The tears come out like the flower water spray, like they cry and they're just like, shit. Clown funeral.
Yeah, how do you,
No. A clown funeral. I feel like there's a metaphor in there in relation to all of this, but regardless, I don't know. I'm stagnating here. I'm
looking forward to Dover because I want to be.
I want to hear what you're talking about.
I'm not going to do the political theater at all. I'm going to talk about my dad, who was a disabled vet, and why I do what I do.
Wow.
And the the wheelchair access to the basement is horrible. I want to ask the council and the mayor to get in that elevator and go down that elevator and see how scary it is. Once you get to the bottom of the elevator, you can't get out. The door is locked. There's no way to unlock it. You're locked in there unless somebody comes out and opens the door from the outside. It's really scary. It's really awful.
Yeah, that sounds ominous. Would you be able to? Would we be able to go in there with like a camera and like film like frame it like a horror movie, and then I just have you there, just like let me out.
I have video of it. It's scary. We can overdub it.
Oh my God, no! Let's reshoot it. That'd be incredible.
So, what do you think your odds would be of getting them to take an inspection of that lack of access themselves?
They don't have to fix the elevator. They can fix the access to the outside with a simple ramp. It would cost a lot less, and it would have access for an emergency situation also.
So there's a door for an outside entrance straight in?
But there's steps.
How far up?
Yeah, I got to look. I'm not sure. It's a couple of steps.
Because, you got like 10 or 12 feet per foot rise or something. I always look at it like, a certain amount, but we've built ramps before during the deck building days.
Yeah, it's cheaper to do that than an elevator, but
a lot cheaper. But to it's a really reasonable request to simply do that yourselves,
And also, like, just the fact that, a ramp is both cheap to make and long-term less risk than an elevator, both cost-wise and risk-wise.
Oh, cost-wise for doing...
No, just make the ramp. Just make the ramp.
Well, maybe you could get them to at least do a feasibility study to get ballparks on both. That just to say we're not even going to invest. You got some good ground to walk here. That's a good idea, man. Because they're going to be expecting the other you. So, dress the part, act the part, just like you do.
Like you do.
Yeah.
And also they have no Zoom access. So they were quoted $80,000 to get their Zoom access working again. Quote. So I'm like, $80,000.
Okay, no.
How does that? What?
No.
It's an app.
Even I know better than that. And should be embarrassing for everybody
involved. So we have to look at these things, and like if they're not going to give us information as to why, we have to look into it and make our own reasonable assumption of things. So we're saying, okay, they need $80,000 to be able to regain access to an app. Did you hack the app? What criminal offense are you viable that you need us to pay $80,000 to get you off the hook of that you need to get back into Zoom? Like I can't think of any other explanation as to why they need $80,000 to get them back into a Zoom. Like
in New Jersey. We'll find out.
I don't know. Scarface, that's why. Thank you. This is not Seth. Scarface hacked their Zoom account and used it for cocaine, and that's why they need $80,000 either to get it back up and running or for more cocaine. I solved it.
So I'm going to offer to do it for free because I worked at Bell Labs for 21 years. I ran all the auditoriums and conference centers. I troubleshot all their crazy equipment for many years.
Past tense of troubleshoot. I've never heard it. Good for you.
Oh, you're talking about getting it set up in an auditorium. I thought you meant just get access to it.
No, I used to work for Bell Labs. I did all this. This is all I did, troubleshooting stuff. So I can fix their access in one day. I'll do it for free. They don't need to buy microphones and cameras like this company wants. This company wants to come in like a big company. Give them all new stuff. No, you don't need new stuff. You're fine. Just a new wire or two, maybe. Ridiculous.
So,
and that's for the vets. That's for disabled vets to take access to a friggin' Zoom meeting in Dover because they can't.
When do you present that?
Next week, I believe it's
next week. I got to tell you what, man, that's pretty strong. I think you'd be well advised to have that down to exactly how you want to say it,
3 minutes.
No, but I mean, in that time to narrow it, funnel it down, like funneling animals into a corral, there all of a sudden you can't make a turn. It's that you have to come across as Bell Labs qualified and have some little notes for you. So I will, blah, blah, blah. I can, blah, 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 da, da, da. You have no risk, all benefit, but like really outdo yourself with that because they are so not expecting that. I mean, especially the Bell Labs board. It's freaking awesome. So you can have in a direct opposite of an El Rampador effect. It's kind of like that show Matlock, with Kathy Bates, and the whole thing is she's a 70, the opposite, look at a 75-year-old lawyer. Yeah, she gets under people's radar, and you can accomplish that because you have a personality they're used to. But
very much so.
Yeah.
And you have like a strong argument, like Jim was saying.
And to follow that with, walk a mile in another man's shoes type thing, but in this case, ride another handicapped person's elevator ride you have set up if they need to attend here, or if they want. If you don't want to exclude them, and then you're offering the alternative. But if you offer the alternative will you at least just do that? Because you got them cornered. To the next meeting to say, no, we didn't do that. You own them on a bi-monthly basis. You already got it narrowed down. That's awesome. Which one is that? Dover?
Dover.
Yeah. Couldn't be any further away.
Yeah, it could.
Farther. Excuse me.
Timbuktu.
Well, that would just be ridiculous.
I want to thank Mad Hatter. Oh, you know what? I have some commercials here. I think they put some stuff up here on their site.
Timbuktu, the actual Timbuktu in New Jersey is like just miles from here. Like
Timbuktu, New Jersey?
Yeah, look up Timbuktu, New Jersey.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there is a Timbuktu.
Yeah, and it coincidentally is approximately the mileage away that Lefty's likely traveled at 22 feet per side of his square that he rides in Bayonne. And I figured it out. I swear to God, because you can go to Google Maps and it'll tell you exactly to the foot that. So I did the computations, and I couldn't believe. I thought Timbuktu would be somewhere else. I didn't know where. And then he's already gone all the way to Timbuktu in that chair, in that scooter.
So Mad Hatter, 10% off from the 17th to the 23rd. Join us on the grand opening on February 22nd. Open at 9 a.m., closed by 9 p.m., 845 U.S. Highway number 1, Avenel, New Jersey.
Are we doing a podcast?
What day of the week is that?
Saturday. This Saturday. Are we doing a podcast for the grand opening?
Yes.
Okay. What time?
11:11, maybe.
Okay. I'll be there.
Fernway. Look, we got Fernway.
Fernway's great. Reps over there are wonderful. If you guys ever catch them at the Mad Hatter, definitely go up, talk to them. They'll give you some swag. They're awesome. Love them.
Any live resins?
Not yet. No Fernway live resin, but they do have another brand there that does have some live resin. Timeless.
Yes, Timeless.
Timeless got some wonderful live resin. I'm actually enjoying their Limelight OG right now.
Where is that?
Timeless?
Yeah.
They're a brand. They're originated in Arizona.
No, I don't care about that. Where can I get some?
Oh, Mad Hatter.
There's a hole in the bucket. That's where I started out. It's funny.
Try the MK Ultra, Jim. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Like the 11:11 start could well fit my schedule. I really need to make it for that.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll try. I give it I can't say 100%. Nothing ever is, but this is a good percent.
High Grass Farms. Sugar Sand. High Grass Premium. Yes, I'm looking forward to trying all these lovely brands that we have here.
Oh yeah, you have to have that experience. It's kind of like a prerequisite of being there, I would think. You know, you don't have to be honest about it. You just have to have done it.
You guys look like you got a killer staff there.
They're awesome. They're smarter than me. It's good. I like that they're smarter than me. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I was only going to say that they're probably the voices of reason with you. And I would hope that anyone working at Mad Hatter, when they hear Lefty talking some absurd nonsense, that they chime in and say, "Don't eat the cannabar. Don't eat the Scoville cannabar. Don't do it. Don't do it." There's Lefty in his little green room. Telling you look wonderful.
I wish to take pictures of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Very cool. This is a great dispensary. Come check it out. It's open 9 to 9. You can just come out and get some cannabis right here.
I'm gonna write a script for a skit.
Nice.
For this, I think there's definitely something with the Mad Hatter. Like, if you guys could get a Mad Hatter like costume to stand outside, that would I'll walk by and he'll be like, "Oh, hello," and entice me in.
We could chase Bongholio around because Bongholio will be here Saturday.
Oh my God, yes, we could use that. Oh, okay, I'm gonna write something up.
Yeah, you know, Bongholio just standing and waving at traffic.
I know it's.
Perfect. I mean, people in any given time, there's going to be people riding by that have heard about Bongholio. He's enough cars go by. There's going to be people recognizing, but it's pretty obvious what he is. You know,
Lefty, get a beanie, and we'll sit against the wall of the dispensary. I'll wear my trench coat. We'll like do this Jay and Silent Bob dance.
We have to have it planned out because it's very cold on Saturday. So we have a heated tent.
I am planning. I'm getting my trench coat.
So outside the tent, we got to do our planning beforehand.
Okay, so we'll meet. We'll coordinate in this week. Very excited for that. But yeah, be there Saturday for the grand opening in Mad Hatter. I'll be there. Lefty will be there. Hopefully, Jim will be there, and we're gonna get up to some antics that day. I tell you what.
No jokes.
No jokes. No, It's.
I'm telling you, no jokes.
I'm saying that's nonsense. There's gonna be plenty of jokes. There's gonna be plenty of pranks.
No, I mean right now, I mean you're nailing it, and I'm like, okay, I passed 3 things I could have said, so I figured you would be too. But this is good.
Lefty, do we have anything else we want to discuss today?
Was there any news? Did we miss any news?
I mean,
probably, but we'll survive.
I don't think anything relevant to home grow, which I mean, it's a circus right now administratively. I'll keep saying that it's good to see that there's people standing up, people fighting, people saying no. You actually see what I think is really cool is you've actually seen a lot of rallies start in New Jersey and other states. So the 50-51 movement. Shout out to those guys. Those guys are kicking ass as far as just getting out there with everyone and saying no, this is not how we do things. So if you have a chance, definitely go out to one of their rallies. Any of the rallies you can find right now, just stand up, speak up.
When's the first State House podcast this year?
The first Thursday after 420, which is the 24th, maybe.
Anything going on the 22nd of February? I think that's another Earth Day, isn't it?
Another Earth Day?
Yeah. Had a planting last year.
Oh, Earth Day. Yeah.
But that's February. I think it's in the end, 22nd or something.
February 22nd.
Is that? I don't know. I thought that I don't know what a follow up to last year would be, but you might find out at one of the Wednesday Google meetings.
April 22nd is Earth Day.
April, okay. Yeah, where did I get?
I dream of
February would be now.
sunshine.
Yeah. So I had the right day.
And we're on the 24th. We're at the State House.
Beautiful.
All right, good. Well, that wow, that's gonna be good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's some good times coming up, despite everything we're feeling right now. I think there's some good times
Well,
coming ahead.
if there's possibility that some traction develops between now and then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just traction, something.
But that's something we have to. The way you
Something
get
new.
good momentum going is by keeping good energy. And if you start getting excited about these small little gains, then yeah, that goes a long way, in my opinion.
This to me is like the last game of a series or something like that, and I will be just satisfied with getting posted for a hearing. The burden's off me. That's it.
Yep.
Then the freaking bandwagon can do some good after that. Don't need me. Not really. I mean, I show up.
Yep.
But I don't know. Am I like Charlie Brown and the football gets pulled away again by Lucy and I end up flat on my ass?
I think the bandwagon's finally figuring out that they're hitting a wall too. They're getting the football pulled out on them too. And they're like, hey, wait a minute.
It took 4. Yeah. Do you realize the power of we're in our 5th year of this bill being blocked?
Yeah.
That to get up to 5, but even just saying 4 years, 4 years of Senate blockade, I refer to it. 3 of them are doing parts of the current Senate president. So it started on February 9th was the beginning of the 5th year.
We had the best activist in the state working on this for the last 10 years, and still nothing, no progress with these.
Well, it's sort of there's no template to follow. It has to you have to rely on certain extrapolations, and you need field vision to do that. You have to be able to compare experiences, and nothing compares to having those experiences yourself. And me being anal about doing a post-mortem after everything I've ever done when I'm advocating in Washington or anywhere else, I'm honest with myself and I learn from myself. But that also means I have a unique field vision because I have more time in the field than anybody that I know doing that.
Absolutely.
So the thing is, my only mistake, I swear to God, is I envisioned this way long ago. And then especially when Cheryl died, it's like, it looks like it's going to be a long haul.
You were ahead of your time.
But I thought now I would be able to do things because I would have a lot of help and people would say, let's try that. I mean, yeah, and I've never really got very much, yeah, man, don't worry, Jim, if you suggest it, I'm going to help you out. And then people like Jeff King come along, and he left a comment on something on Facebook that keeps me in the game, Yeah. I mean, Jeff King is my example of he does everything, the little things he does, the simple things he does. He doesn't have to be asked or told, and he's pretty good at it. Yeah. But he also likes advice. He likes
input.
He likes field vision. And, the fact that it started with him being the only person I know to take my advice and got his shit up to Vin Gopal when Vin Gopal wouldn't answer his 2 emails about medical cannabis in some respect. And that it embarrassed him on Facebook, Vin Gopal, to do, and now he's the sponsor of a bill that's not being allowed to have a hearing. And actually done Vin and Senator Singleton both doing something I'd never seen before or since, is imploring advocates to get in touch with their office with suggestions. You ever hear about that? Yeah, they did. Guess what? They didn't get a lot. What the fuck? I mean, what the hell? Anyway, add all that up, and I can feel Scutari has to let go of the rope on this one. It's tug of war. He's already in the mud pit, but that is going to be his pivot to say, let's also add, we're going to move forward with work with patients here. So let's keep an eye on how this works. And then he can use that to stall what's going to happen with adults who rightfully want home grow rights. So I see this as being, and every time somebody says you're going to piss off Nick Scutari and that's going to hurt things, I say, first of all, get fucking real. Or that. And then second of all, I trust Scutari more than them. How is that? No, I do. I trust him more than them. Do you really think Nick Scutari is going to do something that, to me, because he's pissed off, that will affect other people? Are you kidding? Anybody? Really? No, he won't. That's the whole secret. He's the Wizard of Oz. You know, I've opened the curtains. Why hasn't anybody else?
What did you see behind the curtains? What did it look like?
Oh,
was it a gross? Was it like a gross blob or something, or just
the worst part of it was they're getting stoned. They're hotboxing behind the curtain. The ones who were in the way of it.
Well, that would just be too real. No, I need something comical behind that curtain that looks horrendous. Operating Nick Scutari altogether. I just threw 10 things out in a row that I might say that would have been, you know. It would be very Twilight Zone-y if you open the curtains and it was a patient.
Yeah. No, I don't want to think about that. Boom, blinders. Yeah. It's time. Somehow it magically became time when we're over through 4 years of a bill that got introduced that gave patients the first hope they had in 12 years because they were told they could revisit it. The bill got written. It's instantly been stopped for 4 years. 1/3 of the time they had to wait before. It's run out the clock over and over. It's like falling for the same old joke again. And the joke is people telling me I'm going to piss them off. I'm going, you're damn right I'm going to piss them off. I'm pissed off. I'm going to project. And I am going to piss them off, but not on purpose. I'm not going to do things for the purpose of pissing them off. What I need to do is going to piss them off, though. You know, and it's going to be done if I get really lucky, because I've got it planned out almost as good as I can. Almost, it's going to come through 3 Republican senators. They're going to do the first push. Yeah. They're going to have to publicly take them on because I'm offering it's going to go this way or that. Now that there's 2 years of an email trail with all 3. Although Jen, who is Minority Leader Senator Bucco's constituent, I can still use what he said to her with the next constituent who says, well, Jen Caden, a constituent of yours, and let me quote what you wrote to her on March 27th, 2003, to wherever. Yeah, they can go back and check, holy shit, this person's also a constituent, quoting Jen. Apparently, Jen moved to Florida, but she enjoys having her opinion furthered. That's like a sporting event where you're getting tackled, or like rugby, and Jen hands it off to somebody else and takes it from there. It took 2 years with just the littlest bit of help, saying, yeah, I'll do what you want, Jen. And maybe out of 8, 10, 12 people to have all 3. So we do know a couple of people there. I don't know if, well, one in particular,
strength in numbers,
if he's going to want to help. But it's a simple thing of simply funneling a letter that I write, and I'm tying it all together because the other 2 are also getting letters, but 1 or 2 of them are going to say, mention me, that I'm their advisor. And they say, Google search Jim Miller, medical marijuana, NJ, to see that he's fully capable of doing this. Now they got to think, wait a second, he's helping him write these letters. Shit, I don't know who I'm talking to. Fuck, I think I'm talking to Jim through constituents. Yeah. And should they say, listen, mine says you guys got a letter, did you? Oh, yeah. Did you? Yep. Organization. These are going to be up on a website. Did yours say that? No. Let me see. You follow me?
And then they get embarrassed.
They're being advised. Oh. Be advised that this is not private. these email trails that will or will not develop either way are going to be put on letpatientsgrowNJ.com. So it's warning them, the three Republicans, all you need to do is verify that you've asked, one of you at least, Senator Scutari, to post this bill because there is value in being turned down.
Yes.
We need
Paper trail.
proof. Yes, and Senator Singleton does it. Joe Vitelli does it, and they've told me personally. So therefore, the jig is up, guys. Your Republicans are either greenwashing Republican image by co-sponsoring something that you know isn't going to get a hearing, and you have no plans to help it get a hearing, just co-sponsor it. Either that, or you reach across the aisle to push a little and pull, to act as the check and balance that you were supposed to be for the minority party that's been a minority party for most of all of your careers, 23 years. Stop acting like you're a minority party. Think majority. Be the check and balance, for crying out loud. This is going up on a website, by the way. Oh, yeah. Without, people would be able to read. Oh, you know who likes that? Reporters. See, if they're a reporter and maybe want to do a story about this, what they want to do is have some background about people, and they can go and see your emails with a patient. Oh man, if somebody really like blew them off, it's think like a legislator. Wouldn't that really? Okay, that's a game changer. It is. It fucking is. Why can't anybody see that? Holy crap! But anyway, I don't refer to it as God. I refer to Ralph, because one time when I needed what other people would say, however one's belief is, and I don't need anywhere to ask for something or throw gratitude. But what happened was, and it was when I was in the hospital, I got exactly what I needed at a moment I was about to break. And I felt it, and it became good from there. So what happened is, because I can't fit in anybody else's box, I made my own, and Ralph. It's a deity named Ralph. Otherwise,
Ralph.
His nickname is Nature.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's the way I can actually audibilize something
to Ralph,
like anybody else would. Yeah. And when I'm writing something and I get it just right, like maybe a petition. Yeah. Or when a coincidence happens and turns me. Yeah. So I actually feel it,
He feels it, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Hallelujah.
We're on 2 hours now. I need to get dinner sorted and whatnot. Thursday I will be there in the dispensary, and then Saturday I will also be there in the dispensary for the cast.
So thank you, Matt Hatter. Thank you, CMMNJ, UFCW, Arlo Glass, OprahMachine.com, and SativaCross.org, where you can donate to SativaCross.org at the donate button. Hit the button.
Hit the button.
Yeah, and one day Sativa Cross will have a targeted objective for donations. So if not now, for some reason, we're going to find something that you really want to happen, and you know exactly where your money goes, like feed the children,
You get a free fanny pack.
You'll be able to adopt a patient for $5.
Adopt a patient. You can rename them too legally.
Whatever, and we'll send you pictures of the patient. Hers or her own habitat.
I love that. That's great. I love that. That's great.
They tell me you were never moved by feed to children.
No, I love that concept. It's just the idea.
Yeah. I think I'm ruining the outro here, so sorry.
Time to get serious for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, barely. Yep. Okay. Let me set it up real quick. No, it's that people are dying, and we say that, and today we talked about, 1,000 people didn't get their registration cards renewed. How many was it because they died? I mean, there's an amount, and it's real, but it's not real enough. And even though most can be in a video, why are we still waiting? There's those that aren't still waiting, And when we talk about, what about why not wait till all adults can get it and patients at the same time? Because of this list. That's why. There's just more adults that have time than patients. It's the whole nature of being a patient. And there go I, but for the grace of God, if that's in your life at all. live that for a little bit, realize it. And this list helps us. I know it helps Lefty and me because it's almost overpowering sometimes. I try to sit back but I don't. You know me, I lean into it because as long as I think of one person, it's like getting smacked back and forth with reality. And I got some shit coming up, man. I'm in, hit me.
Cheryl Miller, Sabina Rose, Diane Gracie, Cindy May. These are all children. Marie, Jack, Joan, Randy, Polly, Bill, Chad, Jeremy, Colette, Matt, Troy, Russ, Roger, Jay, Ella, Hattie, Jackie, Anthony, Jake, Armando, Felicia, Lynn, Dan, Sean, Joyce, Lori, Frank, Brian, Flo, Carl, Karen, Frank, Lorraine, Terry, Charlotte, Cher, Jay Bird, Michael, Marley, Colette, Brendan, Red, Rico, Lou, Becky, Lawanda, Chip, Paul, Lisa, Marcus, Gary, Julia. There's a thing for Julia tomorrow, I believe, 11 o'clock down at their favorite place in South Jersey. Did you get the invite, Jim? That's down by you. I can't make it. Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. I got you muted. I'm sorry. That's down by you. I can't make it though.
Yeah, I believe I can. I have a questionable automotive situation, but I'm pretty sure I can use Kathy's for that.
Yeah, Julia's a sweetheart, man. I can't wrap my head around that, man.
Yeah, I saw her over at Jay's like not that long ago. Well, I say not that long ago, 2-3 months. Yeah.
Definitely hits hard every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good advice. I told you, Kelso's brother, I forgot his name already, Lou. Yeah, his advice was spend more time with people you really care about, especially old people. That's one thing he regrets. That he was like any other kid growing up in the early adult years, and you just expect everybody's going to be there forever.
Someone like Julia was full of life, and I just
total shock to me.
Yeah, to me too. She hit her illness well, like a lot of us do. She had diabetes and MS, and she had complications from those. But she hit it very well. I mean, she smiled a lot more than me, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's real.
It's always real. It never stops being real.
Well,
but
MS is.
It's not fun for anyone. It's.
Oh, we're watching Brian have stress because of MS and a wife that really isn't going to be any help to him at all. She can't handle it, and he's going downhill real fucking quick. So we talk, and I tell him, "Man, you're going down real fucking quick. It's going to be best advice is to get good at adjusting because it'll never end now."
It's horrible when you have to give that kind of advice to someone.
Well, he first came to me through a mutual friend 10, 11 years ago, and came to 10 years ago, he came to a podcast, one of the first ones, and maybe the second year. And it's because a mutual friend said, well, you got to check out Jim Miller because, Cheryl had MS, and he's a straight shooter. He'll tell you exactly what to, because he had primary progressive and she did, and, it's like 15%, the bad kind. So I've been honest with him from the beginning, and I got some really good product to make into a balm for him through the magic butter machine, so he can, because he can't use his fingers very well anymore. But the balm will help him, and the balm that he gets from, actually his son from dispensary, has it's not edible as well. It has stuff in it, because it tastes minty or whatever. And they got the kind that you take a fingerful, because whatever you can dip in it, he could do that. And he can do that whenever he wants, and then he can rub it where he can rub it. But he's going to be needing help other than he has now, really, really soon.
Right. Anyway, I have to be going for the night. I have to make breakfast for dinner and.
Yeah. Hey, that was as bummed out as I've been in a long time at the end. Good job, man.
Guys, have a good night, everyone.
Reach for the sky. Good one.
Be well. Stay well. Keep your heads up in these times. Keep speaking up, and we'll see you guys Thursday. Catch you later.
It's gonna be good.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. See ya.
Oh, I didn't get my exit.